I'm on the phone with my friend Hillary from Uganda. Okay. We're talking about love, the concept of love, the meaning of love. And we're talking about this morning, and I want to share this with you guys if you guys can hear her. This is Hillary. Say hi. Okay.
Hi.
Okay. Can somebody comment below if they can hear? Because people are saying they couldn't hear in the last live. Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so with love, you have to love yourself first. And you have to know yourself. Okay, love yourself because you can't give love to other people if you don't love yourself. Okay. And then
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people search for love, right? Can you guys hear me? Comment below if you guys can hear me. A lot of people search for love. Love, it can only be felt, not felt, but love is an action. Okay.
Yes.
Love cannot be defined. Love is an
True.
action. So I'm going to have Hillary go in and talk to you guys about love. Okay. Here she goes.
Hi everyone that's on the live. From Uganda, like she said. Um, when we talk about when we are talking about love, one, that's a very wide topic. Different people perceive love differently. People get used or know love as per what they see, and as children growing up, we find love by what we see, what our parents, our mothers display for us. So at the end of the day, like I was telling Jennifer here, two things about love. Love, one, is, how do I say it? It's diverse and it's selfless. Two, you cannot give what you do not have. So it starts from a point of self-love. You discover who you are, you love yourself for who you are, and once you can love yourself, you can love someone else. Because you weren't born with a person you, let's say, fall in love with. They have different cultures, they were raised differently, and sometimes we collide or crash in so many ways because we are failing to understand that we expect a lot and too much from the people we claim to be loving, and we don't want to understand the perspective. But if you have learned to love yourself, you easily love the other person. There's a reason as to why the Bible tells us that love covers a multitude of sin. I don't want to talk about that because I'm not that spiritual. I don't want to lie. But love is defined by, I don't know, it's a lot. It takes a lot to love someone. But if you do not have it yourself, you cannot give it out. Then the other thing about love is, I believe a relationship that is loving is like a scale. You have to balance each other out. Balance each other, knowing that my man or my woman is this and that, and I am accommodative, and I understand that. I understand that my man is this way, my woman is this way. I don't know whether you guys can relate with that. So I believe at the end of it all that if you cannot mutually, like, if you can't balance each other out, then you guys are literally wasting time. Um, Something I was telling Jennifer, if as a woman or as a man you can't see yourself settle down with someone or be with someone at their worst, then you're literally going to waste their time. That means, I mean, even in the marriage vows, they keep saying for better, for worse, in health and in sickness and in health, and all that. And I don't think I'll take those vows because I want to make it personal with my man, how I know my man. But yes, That's how it's supposed to be. If you cannot see yourself as a woman giving birth to his kids or being with him when he's at his worst, supporting him in each and everything you do, and if you're literally dragging your man down, then I would rethink. I'll tell you to rethink. But like I said, it's just my opinion. What do you say about it, Jennifer?
I say the same thing. Love is mutual. Love is a give and take. It's a balance, like my the way the scales are weighed out. Love is not one sided. Love is both ways. It goes both ways. It's a give and receiving. It's projecting and reflecting. Sometimes when you don't
Yes.
love yourself, you will attract people that don't even love themselves. Okay.
True.
This is why I
True.
say you have to know thyself, love thyself, understand thyself, so you can bring in true love. And nature itself will bring in that love for you. That's why I feel like a lot of people search for love, and when they find it, it's not what, because you don't fully love yourself, right? So when you don't fully love yourself,
Yeah.
how can you love somebody else? And some people's definition of love is different. For everybody, people see love. Love is a word, but it's not really a word. Love is an action. Okay, it's not a verb.
Yes. Yes.
It's an action. Hi, you guys. I tried to get the
Hello.
live earlier, but nobody could hear us. But I have her on, so I want her to explain more about love and the concept and how in Africa they look at love, because it's very interesting how we look at love in the Western way. Sometimes we look at it as like if somebody has money or they look good, but when it comes to money or looks, that fades away. Okay. And I'll have
True.
her go into it more depth. Okay. Here's Hillary.
Okay. So there's something, this thing I keep telling the people around me: you don't choose who you love. Love chooses you. You choose to accept it. You get, if you're loving someone because they have something or because they are something, what happens when it fades away? Because money is earned, and there's a time when you have the money and there's a time when it's not there. Beauty fades. There's a time when you're pretty as, I don't know, the most beautiful flower or whatsoever. But there's that time when you are old and wrinkly. Is that love that you feel right now going to sustain you? I feel like this is why most marriages are breaking, because we are in it for the wrong reasons. If you want to love someone genuinely, it's that love that will hold, it's that bond that you have with your man or with your partner that is going to sustain throughout all the hardships, because love is not a bed of roses. I mean, hell, even roses have thorns. When you touch it without or looking at the thorns, it will pierce you or it will prick you. So love has its ups and downs, and at the end of the day, when we are in that time and there is a thunderstorm, the only thing that is going to keep your relationship is the bond, that love bond that you have. If it is as strong, it will withstand. If it is not, it will waver. It's like building your house or a castle on the sand. It will go, it will be washed away, or with sand, it will be washed away at the end of the day. So you don't pick who you fall in love with. Mama Nature does it for you. You choose to accept. You choose to accept it, embrace it, and love. And like I said, when you choose it, if you do not have the love, you cannot give it out. Then the other thing is energy doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie. The kind of energy you give off is what you're going to attract right back to you. So if your energy is wrong, you're going to attract the wrong people, and then you'll keep complaining, why is it that I always get this kind of people? Why is it that I always meet this kind of men or women? It is, first look back, first go back and rewind and think about yourself. What are you putting there? In where I come from in Uganda, we believe, or Ugandans believe, as a girl child, as a woman, I'll speak on the perspective of women because I mean I'm a lady. What you depict or who you put yourself, how you put yourself out there is what everyone is going to take you for. So the kind of image you have, and it's funny, in Africa or in Uganda, they literally judge women according to how you carry yourself around, what you're dressed in, and all that, how you speak to people. So that kind of energy, if it is wrong, you're going to attract the wrong people. If you do it right, or if you depict and show the kind of people or the kind of man you want, or what the characters that you need, is what you're going to attract to you. So energy doesn't lie at all. That's my opinion, like I said.
And what about
Yes, Jennifer?
okay, what about in physics? Let's talk about physics. The solar. Let's go to
Now when we're talking about physics, the one law in physics that okay, there are like two, but the one where unlike poles attract, that is true. Because I mean, for anything to balance out, there has to be a common factor. So the north will be attracted to the south because of the qualities there. When we go physics wise, I am more into biology, so not so much into physics. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Unlike poles attract and balance each other out. If your man has this character, and I'll tell you from a point or from a fact that you're never going to meet someone who's perfect. We are all flawed, including yourself. You are never going to meet someone who's perfect. I believe you make that person who you want them to be. My man will make me the woman he wants, and I will make him the man he wants. I mean, the man I want him to be. That's how we balance ourselves out, and that's how we make it work. That whole sentence of "we make it work," you make your partner who you want them to be. It doesn't mean that I'm going to meet someone and force them into being. No, you love them into being what you want them to be. That whole saying of love is blind. No, love is not blind. It's not blind. We choose not to see. If, for instance, you fall in love with an armed robber, you think you want to see that he isn't or he is, you will know there will always be that something that is off, but you choose to ignore. You're like, oh, maybe that's just how he is, or oh, maybe that's just who we are, or maybe like always make up excuses for him. But like I said, you love someone out of their bad, then love them into what you want them to be. So basically, hi Jennifer,
I'm
you still
here,
there?
yeah. So me and her was just talking about the concept of love, the definition of love. Love is not something that you can define. Um,
That's true.
and okay, first of all, you have to love yourself to truly, and I have to truly understand yourself. Okay, a lot of people don't understand themselves and they don't love themselves. So a lot of people will settle for their value of their core. They will settle for something less because they don't truly love themselves and they truly don't know themselves. You have to know yourself and love yourself. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you can't pour into somebody if you can't pour into yourself. Okay, you have to pour into yourself first, and then you can pour into somebody else. Okay.
You can't give what you do not have.
Yes, and I feel like Mother Nature plays a big role. Mother Gaia, Earth Mother, plays a big role in love itself.
Yes.
And the universe always speaks. We just have to listen.
Very true.
And
It's just how in
go
it's
ahead.
just how in physiotherapy school or in physio school they keep telling us that the body always will tell you what's going on. Every time it makes noise, there's something you're doing wrong. It's just the same way with the universe. It will always, the so-called red flags, we always see them and we choose to ignore. You will always see, but at the end of the day, what you choose to use that information for, it goes back to you. It's like how I will tell you a story, and how you react, or how you respond to what I'm telling you is entirely and up to your beliefs and everything. Because I mean, you can't. There's something my dad used to tell me. You cannot force a donkey to the well and force the water into its mouth. It won't happen. It will either take it or not. It's just that.
Okay, so how do you feel as women? Okay, as women, how do you feel like the way marriage is perceived for women and men? Um, like in the Western society, we
Yes.
like even the Western society, we have to have like a marriage license. We have to go through all this just to marry somebody because we're told this is the way it's supposed to be. But you don't have to do it that way. If you truly love somebody, you can do it the way you want to do it. You don't have to have it on paper because that paper doesn't mean nothing at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. Yes. Like I was telling you, now we come from two different cultures. Now in African society, ideally Uganda, marriage is something different this side. And explaining our culture and norms and everything is that's a long story. Like that's a story for another day. But one thing I will tell you is at the end of the day, after everything is done, because yeah, there will be the wedding and you'll eat, you'll invite your friends over. But when all that is done, it will go back to you and partner, and it will be just the two of you. So I kept telling my man, I want something small and intimate, because it doesn't make sense to have all these people around you, and when you actually need them, they disappear. They are not there. But when there was something like celebration and all that, because now you see in African, in Uganda, how our marriages are organized. As a lady, you have to pay, as a man rather, you have to pay the bride price, and it's really expensive. You get, especially it depends on the culture. I am from the northern part of Uganda, so how we do, or how we, it's kind of similar but different according to different cultures. Like I told you, if we go into the marriage thing in Uganda, that's a story for another day. That can take like the whole day of explaining.
Okay.
And and sometimes this side, it feels, to me, my opinion is it feels like they are selling off, they're selling you off, they're selling you off as a girl child, because the guy is literally paying for your bride price. What are you, a commodity?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. But me, I believe marriage is a bond that is, it's okay, in simple terms, it's a one-way ticket. Once you've decided to go down that road, for me, I believe that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be God, or whatever you believe in, and love to hold you through everything. Because when friends and everyone fades, or everything disappears, it is going to come back to you and your man. And that love bond, or the relationship you built, how you built it, and whether you stand or not is going to depend on how you built your relationship. The foundation is strong enough, you guys will pull through. If it is wavery and weak, you may or may not. It's on shaky ground. It's way, it's hard to
Yeah.
explain. But me, as a person, I believe marriage should be done, or that paper means nothing. It again goes back to you and how much you love your partner, or and how you love your partner, your bond. That's it.
And how you love yourself.
Yes,
Self love is the most important thing.
very true.
Yes. And a lot of us don't
And
have that self love. And people are going into marriages for the wrong reason.
that's true.
For material wealth, beauty,
Mm,
and that doesn't last.
it doesn't.
So
So I believe at the end of the day, it starts with you. There's a saying that goes, charity starts at home. How you love yourself is how you're going to love everyone else around you. If it is corrupted, you're going to have, that's what you're going to give out. That's why I kept telling you, energy doesn't lie. What you have on the inside is what you're going to give out. And that won't lie. If you don't love yourself, or if you love yourself for the wrong reasons, I've had people who love themselves because they're like, oh my god, I love myself, I am prettier than so and so. You're comparing yourself to me. There is no other person like you. You are unique. It is you and you. Once you learn to accept that and you're like, I am me, I am Hillary. There might be other people out there called Hillary, but they cannot be like me. You are unique. There is a way that God created you, or the Maker created you, that is not similar to anyone else. I mean, even identical twins, yes, they might have shared a womb, but they are never identical in everything. There's a diverse character. They're like different. They're different. There's one who will be outspoken and the other will be shy. Like, there is no other person like you. So once you accept and love yourself for who you are, with all your flaws, with all your weaknesses, with all your strengths and everything, when you learn to accept yourself, love yourself, that's the only way you're going to give out the right kind of love to people out there, or to people, or to the person you love.
you
So
guys,
yeah.
you guys, Hillary, I thank you for joining me. We'll
Yo,
um she's gonna say goodbye, but I'll probably come back on later and we'll talk about. Comment below what you guys want to talk about. We're just touching the topic of love. I just wanted to talk about love today. It was on my heart. It was on my heart and my spirits.
yes.
Because a lot of people, are going through a lot, and a lot of people out here are going through a lot. And when you love yourself and you find peace within yourself,
Mm-hmm.
calmness within yourself, understanding within yourself, your truth within yourself, because the truth is the only way out. Okay. um,
Yes.
and understanding yourself, even during good times and bad times, you can overcome anything in life. Just knowing yourself
Yeah.
and understanding yourself and knowing that um, you may be going through something at this moment, or you may not be going through something, but we all have a story, but we have to continue on with our story
True. That's very true.
and be.
Something my best friend,
Go ahead.
always told me is, know your story, own your story, love your story.
i love
Simple.
I love that.
Yes.
Yes. So you gotta. That is beautiful. Also love yourself, because when you love yourself, you won't be bothered. You come to a point in life where there's calmness. You'll find calmness within yourself when you truly love yourself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you won't have bitterness in your heart. Remember, I told you your heart chakra, your heart is what opens up.
Mm.
When you open that heart up, you can receive anything. Okay. That heart has to
Yes.
be open to receive, because if that heart is not open, even though you've been through hurt, a lot of hurts or whatever, when that heart is
Mm.
closed, you can't really receive true love, because that love, everything comes from your hearts, your heart space, your heart,
Yeah.
everything starts with your heart. Okay, the healing
That's
starts with your hearts. um
yeah.
and that's what we're talking about today. So, and we're
Yes.
also talking about loving yourself, and knowing your worth, your self-worth, setting healthy boundaries for yourself. It's not bad to set boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. Some people never had boundaries in life, and it's good to have healthy boundaries. And when you know yourself and love yourself, you can set those healthy boundaries. And I want to thank Hillary for joining us, and we will do another live together. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we will discuss. Um, there's another thing that I want to discuss about the family structure, because the family structure in the United States is different from the family structure in Africa, and I want to touch on it because I feel like we need to touch on that subject, the family structure and the breakdown of the family. Because I feel like a lot of families are breaking down the structure of their family. I feel like the family structure is being broken down. Okay.
Yeah.
And we need to build our family structures back up. So we'll be back on with another
True.
video. The time is different for where she's at. She's coming all the way from Uganda, you guys. So say hi to my girl Hillary. And I'll be back on later, you guys. I'm sorry you guys couldn't hear us on the last video.
Yeah.
But you can hear us now. Is there anything that you want to leave them with, Hillary, while I end this live?
Well, I will tell you one thing, or I will pass on some knowledge that was given on to me a long time ago, tested, proved, and certified. Two things. When you love yourself, you will love your story. You'll be proud of your story and how far you've come. You will accept who you are, and you will accept that you are not perfect, because none of us is. And once you can accept and love your flaws, love your strengths, your weaknesses, the rest will flow, because that's where all the bad energy comes from. It comes from self-destruction. Do not avoid self-destruction, because it will break you. It will make you something my baby always says, a Grinch. So don't be a Grinch on yourself. Just love yourself. Be happy every day. There's always a new lesson. Embrace it, love it, and then you'll be good to go.
Okay. Thank you, Hillary.
Welcome.
Okay.
Nice meeting you guys.
Yes. Okay, you guys. We'll have her back on later. Okay. All right, you guys.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you later. All right, you guys. Love and light. Love and light, my beautiful souls. Love and light. Hello.